make it go Igbo. I see magazine in Jeko. All over the world, even echo. Tell your baby, yo. Your wedding, I see go take photo. Your birthday, I see go take photo. I see magazine in Jeko. I want pictures. Go tell your story, yo. You go make your money, yo.
Fashion. Fashion is wearing clothes, but it's not necessarily so. Fashion is quite encompassing, discusses fashion obviously, which is sartorials, trends, styles. But when we look at fashion overall, I tend to look at it a little differently, something that each individual must decide for themselves what they think. They're trying to communicate to their circle of influences. When someone is getting ready to go somewhere that is not worthy, they take exceptional time to put themselves together. So now let's get into the mechanics of fashion. Each individual person is peculiar in their shopping habits, their likes and dislikes. So someone might like a Gucci, someone might like a Prada. Therefore, I am always very gratified to see people looking their best, putting themselves together, taking exceptional care in what they put on, because I believe that when they feel that they are well dressed, they comport themselves a little better. Not so very expensive. Some people shop at H&M, some people shop at Zara, some people do Gucci, some people do Tom Ford. Well, I remember many decades ago in high school, and I remember growing up being very particular as I assembled things that I'd like to wear. There weren't many, but there were things that I really liked and how I wanted to put them together. So I began to fashion out my own fashion sense and what I like, what I don't like. And it continued as I got older. I got into the business of fashion because anything that one does effortlessly is probably where your niche is, or some of your niches. You're not held down to one particular vocation. Fashion is something you do, just like running as an athlete. But I think those things are beginning to change. People are beginning to find that you make money virtually in doing anything you want to do. Anything. ISEE magazine, I'm sure, is going to make a lot of money. I met you about 2 years ago, Bongo, and I remembered exactly how you were put together when you walked into this particular place we met. I didn't know you from anywhere, and I looked at you once and I thought you were impeccably put together. You had on a white traditional with your cufflinks, and I thought, wow, this is something good. And I congratulated you because I thought the magazine is going to be doing great things in the community. It's going to be both informative as well as educational. Informative in the sense that it's going to be telling people things, finding things from other sources, bringing it to the community, as well as educating the community on how to do certain things vis-a-vis fashion. By any means, not everybody is interested in fashion. Some people are not. I think ISEE magazine will be a good resource to finding either how to source out good things and great things in fashion, as well as how to put it together. There are people that can spend a lot of money, but they don't know quite how to put it together, you know. And what makes fashion a bit unique is not necessarily the sartorial themselves, but also how you put it together. So one could wear a chain with a pant, or a chain with a shirt, and you look at it cursorily, but you don't think it's anything that you'd like to do. But then a lot of people are emulating it. And then it begins to trend. I remember the first time I wore the beads. It wasn't a feature back then. And today, virtually everybody in the community has one. So fashion is very critical. It's how we learn. And one teaches another. ISEE magazine is going to, as I said earlier, be a very good resource in the community because the person that is running it, the publisher, is himself a fashion person. He appreciates exactly what good fashion is, and he does a yeoman's job in his own personhood whenever he dresses up. Most often you hear chatters about people, talk about people. One good thing gossip television will do for this community is to get things right. Whenever the people are feuding because some gossip has been going on, I think the gossip television could serve a very important role in ensuring that the parties that are warring based on gossip can be brought together. Gossip television could also come in handy. It could serve as a barometer through which people are checked, because we don't have it currently. Anything goes. Anything that gets into the public domain goes. And people will start discussing it as though it's a reality. So on both fronts, let me seize this moment to congratulate the publisher of ISEE magazine and the producer of Civic Entertainment Television, Gossip Television, Bongo, as it's fondly called, for he has brought a vision that I think is going to serve this community in the foreseeable future. And I have no doubt that in years to come, Gossip Television, ISEE magazine will join the giants. GQ magazine began just like ISEE magazine is beginning. So was Detail magazine, so was Esquire. These are magazines in their formative years. No one knew they could become the global house they've become. And I want to wish you well, and I know that in times to come, we'll come back and celebrate the notoriety of the magazine and the global impact it's having, not just